Started in the midst of Athens in a period of both wealth and power, but with many other city-states, definitely not including Sparta, fuming at their success. So, inevitably, Sparta declared war on them in 431 BC. This was known as the first of 3 Peloponnesian Wars. And though Athens had a stronger navy, Sparta had a stronger army, and the location of Sparta didn't give the Athenians any advantages as far as an attack by sea. So eventually, Sparta marched into Athens and burnt all of their food, which in return prompted the Athenians to retreat to the safety of the walls of Athens, where they wouldn't starve because of their well-maintained seaports leading into the city. Seems like a great plan, right? Now, when a plague of disease strikes an enclosed area, you can guess what happens. Despite this, the Athenians continue for several years until finally accepting defeat in 421 BC and signing a peace treaty with Sparta. Athens did try to come back and take out one of Sparta's biggest allies about 6 years later, but this failed miserably and all 20,000 men that were sent were lost. And now we get into philosophers. Athenians, after much disappointment and war and basically everything else that they had tried, had lost their faith in the democratic government, so they turned to philosophers to help them define the truth. The term philosopher is defined in Greek as lovers of wisdom, which makes perfect sense. Now, philosophers had many profound ideas, but they were all based on 2 simple truths. The universe is put together in an orderly way and is subject to absolute and unchanging laws, and that people can understand these laws through logic and reason. One group, the sophists, questioned the idea of the existence of the traditional Greek gods, saying the quote, "Man is the measure of all things." This was not something the Athenians wanted to hear. Socrates, however, disagreed with the sophists, saying that there were absolute standards for truth and justice, but he still pushed the Athenians to examine themselves and their moral character. Socrates is best known for his quote, "The unexamined life is not worth living." Unfortunately, he was later put to death for corrupting the youth of Athens and neglecting the city gods. Anyway, moving on. Plato, a student of Socrates, contributed a lot to Athenian society as well. Around 370 BC, he wrote his most famous book, The Republic, and within it stands his perfect idea for a well-ran society. There would be 3 classes: farmers and artisans, warriors, and the ruling class. And the best and brightest of that ruling class would be named Philosopher King. His ideas could have only been overshadowed by Socrates himself or his own student, Aristotle. Aristotle questioned human belief, thought, and knowledge, and he later was the tutor to Alexander the Great.